All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful evening. It was a little gloomy outside,
Oh, hi, that's me.
And I was a little tired from the gym, so I said, you know what? We might as well go live and talk about the tariff play action that we had today and go over a couple of the news ideas and some of the big developments that we had today. If you are not aware, after today, even though it kind of felt like there was some good news towards the end of the day and there was a pretty big rally, we still went lower, and the S&P 500, believe it or not, has officially entered into a correction. So now that we're live, I think I could go over a couple of other pretty pictures with you, but look at courtesy of propaganda. This is the chart right now, and the last time the S&P was down 10%, it may feel like a while ago or recent, but that was around 2023. It was literally around the banking crisis. Even right before the banking crisis, it wasn't until like halfway through that we really saw that correction hit, and then obviously 2022, which you have heard a lot about, or I hope you have heard a lot about, so you're prepared and that you don't get caught up in the trap of the puts. But there is that one. I might as well show you guys this one too, but here it is. We brought this one up yesterday. This is an updated chart, and like I'm saying, today, even though you had that little rally at the end of the day, it was still a decliner, and now this time Trump tariffs 1.0 versus now, you are a lot more aggressive, a lot quicker, and now you are a lot lower. So eventually we'll get one of the good pops. I have the other chart, but pretty much once you fade all of the fear and then we hear good China news, that's what happened last time in 2018. That's where we got this little rip. There was like China and Mexico concessions back to back. But even today, there was a lot of play action when it came down to the tariffs because we had a live update. I'm going to talk about that with the news and show you guys how to play that. But you had a live update of escalation, and then by the end of the day, they walked it back. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what's going to happen with tariffs tomorrow because I swear I saw a headline and Trump was like, no, we're not going to do it at all, actually. No more tariffs. But then most people are saying we're still going to get to 25. So we'll see how it factors in. But 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight, we should be getting a deal. And then we did get an update on the government shutdown. So we're going to go over all of that. I got plays, keys, pretty pictures. And actually, I'm going to show you one more. What is this? Photos. I got one more for you. Are you guys ready? You guys don't want to see this. I don't think you guys want to see this, bro. You know, I don't know, man. This is it, bro. I don't know if you guys want to see this, man. This one, oh, man. And then Musk has, wait, hold on. What is this? I just saw something. Musk has signaled to Trump's advisors in recent days he wants to put $100 million into groups controlled by the Trump political operation. So, yeah, maybe go look at DJT right now or Tesla, but that's coming out now, New York Times. So look at that. You could get live updates right now while we are live on the watch list as I'm hyping up a pretty picture. So here's the deal. Are you ready? I don't know if you want to see that. Listen, if I show you this, you got to like the video because we're live. But if I show you this, you got to promise not to freak out, and you are not allowed to sell your long term. Is that fair? Does that sound like a fair deal? It's not my biceps. No, you're not allowed to sell your long term with what I'm about to show you. I don't want to hear no dumb shit because I expose you to information. Does that sound like a deal? Oh, I'm super ripped, bro. You have no idea. Wait till you guys see me in like a video again. Oh, I hope you're impressed because I'm hyping it up now. But here's the deal. So after today, this chart is like right here. Do you know what this is? So this is right now. Do you know what this is? Living the vida longer. See, you got dumb, like I say, 10%, cent. Let me see the long time. I want to see it again. Yeah, oh, there it is. This, my friend, not Trump 1.0. This was COVID, believe it or not. So, yeah, like I said, don't freak out. But believe it or not, the price action is eerily similar February to March of COVID. I know that was the last one I expected too. 2022, a lot of this stuff we were going over, that I was like, okay, I vibe with that, but it didn't really feel like COVID to me with all of this. Again, it felt like a more aggressive 2018. Again, we were talking about the Trump chop kind of returning, But yeah, so this is kind of similar. Now, it's just a chart overlaid with another one. That's why I said don't be a jackass about it. But when it's all said and done, my friends, we still got real volatility. We got to talk about it. I have the plays, the keys. You got CPI tomorrow morning. We're going to cover all of that. I'll see you on this channel. So if you're already here, I should see you tomorrow. But tomorrow, it will be members only for CPI. Yeah, you got to wake up earlier in there. And then you wait us as market determines long-term rates. Long-term rates have been rising as a trend. Long-term rates reflect market views on economic price trends. So Bank of Japan speaking right now too. But that being said, before we get into all of that, my recap people, you're going to have to bear with me. What up, Chad? How you doing, baby? Good evening. What's going on, baby? I told you I was tired. I didn't want to edit. I'd rather talk to you, show you pretty pictures. What up, Dos? What up, Tyree? Mr. Stallings, Brian Fierros. Oh, what up, Damal? What up, DE? Liquid, Ryan, you say, Jamal, C, baby, Mayhem, 3093. Chipsty in the house, baby. What up, man? What up, Patrick Bacardi? What up, Probo? Oh, Tim Whitman, my friend. There you go. You guys are live, too. I'm not just talking to Tim Whitman or a mirage of Tim Whitman, because I'll do that. You have no idea. If you've never seen that, that might be a once-in-a-lifetime you guys saw. I don't know if I'll do that ever again, because that scarred me for life. Buenos noches, man. Buenos noches. What up, Lori? What up, Soccer? What up, Juice? Oh, good evening. So, Chattadonia, I hope you guys are locked in. I hope you are ready, but let's talk about what happened today. So, actually, no. Before that, I'll let the chat decide. You guys want to talk about today, or should I get the pretty pictures that you should have got today? I got two more that I could show you, essentially. Actually, one more. Just one more real quick if you want it, or we could get right into it. I think we're going to start with the picture. I think already. I'm going to go with the first 5-10 people. So here's the other part I was going to tell you. It has to do with the VIX. So this is actually terrible where you are at on the VIX. Why? Because this kind of insinuates that you will actually have more pain. So let me make this chart simple for you. Very simply, if the VIX rises above 20 from 1990 till today, that is usually a buy the dip opportunity, right? However, if it goes above 25, that gets worse as long as that 25 stays below 30. It's actually a very weird metric. I've never really heard about it. I've heard other VIX metrics. That's why I'm sharing with this one with you guys. But quite simply, if the VIX goes up, after a certain amount of fear and downside, it's usually a buyable opportunity. But pretty much, if it goes to 20 or 25, but doesn't go above 30, and then still stays above 20, that is kind of indicative of more pain. That's not really a buyable dip. That's actually more of a sell-off, more liquidation, kind of what we have seen in 2022 and today. So that's why, looking at where we're at, it's funny because, the last few days we've been getting the volatility, but what do you notice? We're above 20, and that's usually a buyable dip, but now you're above 20, staying above 25, but now you're not above 30. So volatility is elevated. It's not elevated to a point of causing this major sell-off and de-risking, but it's also now in this weird equilibrium. I wouldn't even call it. It's called purgatory is what I'd say. So that's what I wanted to show you, and people were asking about the VIX, and even then it was hard to find plays on here. But essentially, you either want the VIX to blow out and kind of get over all of this, or you want it to, again, really just calm down. If it could even stay below 20 and chill, there you go. But fact of the matter is, this awkward volatility, the longer it holds, the worse it becomes. Ta-da! So it's fun in games for now, and hopefully we get developments with Powell the data and everything else. But if you kind of just get this elevated VIX environment and you're not really getting a major sell-off, but people don't want to buy and they're still, you're kind of juggling all these themes, that's going to create a different market that you have not really dealt with, and it's not as easy as buy the dip. So we'll see where that leads into. You got time, but just keep an eye out for the VIX. Now, as far as today, it was a play action on steel tariffs. I honestly think there's no more tariffs on Canada's steel tomorrow. I think he's still going to hit Australia and a few others, but pretty much you've heard a lot of tariffs and a lot of exemptions. We've been hearing that. And really, you got an update in the morning. This is what made today crazy. And I don't know. I want people to be fair about this because I really made sure it was clear today, because right here, and this was a good thing. We're going to talk about this when we get into the plays, but literally in real time today, out of nowhere, there was a headline that Trump, he was talking to reporters outside of the White House, and he said that they're going to raise the tariffs on Canada to 50%. And that's what caused this reaction. Now, some of you know the story, some of you don't. Why did Trump wake up this morning and when reporters are talking to him, why did he say that? Why did he tell a reporter, I'm going to go 50 now. We said 25, but now it's 50. 50% tariffs. Why? What happened? Why would he do that? Why would he do that? Some of you know the answer, but sadly, a lot of people don't. Maybe you're an educated Chad, and Sadly, this is what I'm saying. People need to be fair, because if Trump makes a move, everybody has all eyes on him. If somebody else does something, nobody really cares about it. And what I mean is yesterday, Ontario homie said he is going to cut off the electricity to the United States, and he raised the tariffs and he raised the price of energy to America. So literally the Canadians hit the U.S. yesterday, and that's why he said those comments today. So that's where this was brought up, and it was live, and then that caused the downside. And then literally there was like Ukraine peace news meeting, and there's actually a lot of bullish Ukraine peace news. And then Canada homie and Trump were both like, you know what, we had a talk. We're not going to do that. We're going to roll. We're not going to do the extra 50. Canada was like, we're not going to cut off the electricity. We're not going to raise the prices. And then you kind of eased up. And then we had that still more of that end of the day move. So that's what I mean by today was really just a gigantic pump fake. I'm telling you, from the real-time update to the back and forth to by the end of the day, I genuinely think there's no tariffs on Canada tomorrow. We'll find out. But you'll still get some steel tariffs, but this is what I was telling you guys the other day. Remember just how the tariffs played out with Mexico just last week. That really, jerky reaction right ahead of the event, and then right at the last minute, you get an off-ramp. That's kind of how these are playing out, so keep that in mind for April. So now, after we get the steel tariffs, we're going to get over this, but April reciprocals, do not forget that, okay? Because this is going to probably play out exactly the same. So that is play number one, or key number one. And then the other thing, the House, I believe, passed the bill. So I think Senate needs a couple of Democrats to switch and vote for it. And if that happens, you will literally have the government funding towards the end of the year. That's actually a really good sign. Why? Because that means all of this stuff that Donald Trump is doing, now if the budget has an A-OK and they could actually pull it off, well, then there you go. It's actually, you're going to start getting, hitting the runway. What is it? Boots hitting the ground. You actually will be able to start executing some policy here. So that could be a good thing. We'll see what ends up happening there. But for now, generally after hours, some slightly good news when it's all said and done. But that is play number one. And then play number two, I keep saying play, key number two, CPI tomorrow, and it's going to be weird. CPI is going to be weird tomorrow. I told you that about the non-farms, but why? And the non-farms relates to this. Why is this CPI going to be weird? Because all of a sudden, the market is now put on its X-ray goggles that could see through data due to fear. That's what's happening. If you don't believe me, go look at the non-farms. The non-farms literally were great. We're not anywhere close to bad data that would upset the market, the situation, Powell, or really anything. Very stable jobs data. The market said, no, it doesn't matter. The next one's going to be bad because of Elon. Even though they tried to make there be fear about the first one. And eggs and all of it. Yeah, 100%. Do you understand? So that is very crucial for tomorrow. Because if right now the rate cut odds are going between 1 and 4 in a damn 2 to 3 weeks, and now people are looking at data right in front of them and literally ignoring it because they are worried about what might happen, do you see the problem with tomorrow? Tomorrow could be really good, really bad. It's not even priced in. It's everybody. It's literally, it really is the narrative running the show, but it more has to do with fear and expectations. It really has to do with this sentiment. And again, the data will be a driver of sentiment, but when it's all said and done, I don't think it stops at the data. So that's why I think tomorrow is going to be awkward. There's already a high expectation. So the higher the expectation, the easier it is to disappoint. Maybe that ends up being good, but you do have to watch out for it. When it comes down to data and inflation, sadly, I think tomorrow will be the big one. Oh, no, you could rip up tomorrow or you could squeeze down. And that's what I'm saying. You might rip up after selling off hot inflation. Oh, y'all don't feel me, bro. Last time in October we did that in 2022 or 2023. So do you get what so yeah, you could rip up easily. Or, you could flush another 150 points tomorrow. I hope you guys are seeing it, but it's not going to be because the data. If anything, the data will confuse the F out of you tomorrow because you'll be like, wait, I thought the data meant this. Just like I said with the non-farms, a lot of people are going to say, I thought the data was bullish. I thought the data was bearish, and then the market does whatever. Because I really think it will be off of sentiment now, just because we already watched the market do this. There's a lot of fear, and it's just too, we have Powell right around the corner as well. I don't think the market is going to, everyone's running too wild to corner themselves with a little bit of inflation data when you could say it's Biden, it's Trump, it's this, it's that. What about the next one? So we'll see where it plays out tomorrow. Other than that, though, maybe I'll show you on the other screen. It might be easier to see, but I do think PPI on Friday will be the big data. That's going to be the one that I think will move you. The options tomorrow are still pricing in 1.5. That's a lot, but then again, you could do that today. Surprisingly, wasn't 1.5, but you could gap down more than that amount. But tomorrow, core expected to be around 0.3, which is still pretty high. Again, the 3.1, 3.2, and then headline, that's expected to come in at 0.3. Last time was 0.5. So if anything, if these numbers come in line, it'll still be lower than the last time. But like I'm saying, although CPI kind of pricing in a lot and the inflation story is kind of crucial, I really think the market, the game of chicken, sentiment, I think all of this is more important than the data tomorrow. Doesn't mean that we won't be watching it, but like I'm saying, don't follow that ball more or less like from start to finish. So like I'm willing to throw the CPI away by the time the bell rings. Do you get what I'm saying? So don't let it fool you tomorrow. Maybe if it finds a way to help you, great. If it's easy, great. If it makes sentiment right off the rip, easy one, great, but then don't chase and get trapped if it flips. But like I'm saying, do not let the CPI fool you tomorrow because the market is going to, it has the ability to bend it. And that's what it's already did with the non-farm. So I wouldn't be a victim to it and don't be strict with it when it's all said and done. So I hope that helps you tomorrow. Either way, we'll see where the PPI brings us. And now, the final key, my friends, do you understand? Like, do you understand, my friend? This is real volatility. Do you not get it? Bro, nobody knows what is going on. I say that with such confidence. You have no idea. Maybe confidence and pride comes before the fall, but I'm not prideful because I'm everybody. I don't say this to you as somebody saying I know it all, but I just know when everybody doesn't know. Does that make sense? I'm sitting at the dinner table, and I don't think I'm the smartest at all. But I do think I'm like, something's happening. Like I don't think I could tell when people don't know each other. Does that make sense? And I feel like there's a lot of people at the table just kind of looking around, and that's what I mean, like for real, when it comes down to the data, the narratives, everything, I'm not ahead. No, I don't know where I am. All I know is I'm glad I bought value and I'm glad I diversified. I'm diversified. That's what I know. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if I'm ahead. I don't know if I'm behind. I might be ahead now. Maybe I'll be behind in 3 months. Who knows? But the whole point is nobody knows what's going on right now. That's the point, you guys. That's why it's so volatile. You don't go 10% down after hitting all-time highs if everybody had consensus, dude. The last time we had consensus, it was called a soft landing, and y'all thought I was a little wacko, and then the whole entire market ripped for about 2 years. Because everybody was like, yeah, we have a soft landing. Do you not realize the soft landing is softly exiting right now? That's what has gone on. You went from, in tariff worry, no, growth, let's reprice. Now they're terrified. And now it's a whole different ballgame. And now Trump's like, maybe we should have a detox. And then they're like, whoa, wait a minute, no more spending. And then, so it's very different, bro. But you don't have consensus. Nobody knows. That's why 1 month it's worried about tariffs. The next month it's tariffs of inflation, tariffs of growth. What about the bonds? And, what about the currencies? I thought we're worried about China or Europe or the war or this. It doesn't, nobody knows. That's the problem, though. You even have this uncertainty reaching boardrooms all the way down to random people. I heard people not even knowing about the stock market saying it's a recession. So no one really knows what's happening. Do you not get it? Ideas are up in the air right now, and that's okay. You don't need to know. You need to have a good strategy. You know what I'm saying? You need to go with what you do know. And that's what I've been telling you this whole time. I'm going with what I do know. I'm going with my plan, my long-term. We stick with that. Again, if I'm going to play volatility, like I'm saying, avoid some of the out-of-the-monies. Find out the opportunities, but play them small. There's a way to go about this, but when it's all said and done, dude, you don't need to know, and that's like, don't stress yourself out trying to figure it out, but you have to understand this back and forth dynamic, the news, the info, the movements. This is volatility, and it's because ideas are shifting. We're trying to arrive to a consensus, bro, on is like AI's even ambiguous right now. Do you guys not get it? Think about it. From DeepSeek down to this move in the like AI's ambiguous. You don't even know. You're like, it's not the same as it was 6 months ago, 9 months ago, and everybody knew it was the hottest thing. You know what I'm saying? Soft landing, only 5% odds of hard landing. Everybody knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Generally, most people were very confident, and, it wasn't as easy as me to call out a bunch of bullshit because you were fighting a wall of consensus. That wall is breaking down now. That's why the market is moving 10%. So you don't need to know what's going to go on. This doesn't necessarily mean it's a good or bad thing. I hope you understand that. I'm just saying this is why we are getting this shuffle, and in this shuffle, it's going to create opportunity, which we've been able to take advantage of so far. So keep that in mind, and that's why moving forward, you're never out of the woods just yet. You'll know when you're out of the woods. For now, these little rallies and little developments, oh man, we're still riding a very windy, narrow road. So don't forget, but that is what volatility is, changing from one state to another very quickly. And again, that happens because people's ideas are changing from one state to another very quickly. So Chad, I hope you're locked and loaded for all of it and ready to go. But now, let us get into the plays. So, right off the bat, baby. News, man. I need a drink. I need my water. Man. So I want to talk about some of the news plays and something that I've noticed. I hope this makes you money. I hope this makes watching the stream more profitable. That's kind of the purpose of helping you with this. And what I want you to understand, what I've observed, is that when you have a news headline and it's a big one that you know about, right? Like Trump enacts tariffs on steel. You already knew that. That's not going to cause a crazy move. It causes a move for like a minute and then it chills, right? If the market is, even if it's a big event, but the market kind of knows about it in relation to policy and politics, even like the Bitcoin reserve, it hits for a little bit and then fades. Could you guys say that you've observed something similar? I think, again, reciprocal tariffs, by the time it hits and you know about it, that plays out a lot differently on the market. So that's the first one. The other one is real-time news updates. So that's what we got today. So when we get a Trump report or he's talking to a reporter and says something, that is real time. So when it's brand new, those ones will actually cause a movement intraday that you could follow through. That's what happened today. We literally got a nice put off of it. Those all paid out. Why? Because it was literally brand new. This whole idea of 50% tariffs on Canada, it didn't exist until it was said. And that's why you were able to get a nice news follow-through play. That's money. So if ever we're there live and then we get like a real breaking development and it is live indirect, those are going to be the ones that are going to kill it. And then finally, this is the one I really noticed, the subtle developments. I did this like a week or two ago. I forgot the headline. It was end of the day, and there was that random Mexico headline. And I remember it was during Philo. Nobody else reported on it, and I stream alerted it, and I made a play on it, and then you went crazy. You had one of those wild end-of-the-day rallies. But it took like 30 minutes, 15 minutes for that to hit, and then it took off. That is the subtle news developments, and I've noticed these are the ones causing the end-of-the-day rips or pops. So today, that's what happened. So go watch the recap. It's all on this channel. But, dude, we were getting Ukraine peace and Canada folding here. I made 2 different call plays around here, bro. It was crazy. And then all of a sudden, it was very subtle. All these headlines hit, and then before you know it, it was the general idea of, oh, yeah, you know, he's going to roll it back and be easy on him, and then Ukraine peace. But it was so subtle, and it caused this massive run. Those ones, I think, end of the day, pay attention. So end of the day, last couple of hours, like last hour or two, if we hear like one of these like random, just subtle, like so-and-so does this out of this country, and it's either bearish or bullish, I would give it like 10 to 20 minutes. Those might follow through. That might set the trend for the end of the day. Other than that, the real news plays, you need a real-time, brand new. Otherwise, if it's big and you already know about it, like the steel one, it's going to pop and then fade. So I think today was a good example of a lot of those. So I hope you guys are prepared, but that is play number 1. Play number 2, value. I've brought this up every single day this week. Value stocks, pay attention to the rotation. Today, I didn't touch a value play. Why not? I went with Nike. It's like kind of value, but that's a damn retail. But today, I didn't touch value. Why? So today, the market sold off. NASDAQ got clobbered. But how come we didn't see Coca-Cola rocket? Pepsi didn't rocket. You didn't watch value go up today. It was all down. And we didn't touch it. I didn't touch any of them. I even go watch. In the morning, I was like, I said value's not there. Why? It's very simple. That rotation play will hit, bro. If you get it and you get it right, it will hit. Don't overthink it. You don't need to be a genius. It had no bid. That's it. It was deep red following everything in the morning. Every other day, it was literally green. So every other day pre-market, we're dumping. Staples are green. That's a very good indicator. If they're red and following along a sell-off, don't even worry about it. Do you see what I'm saying? Because here's the deal. It will be obvious. You don't need to force that big rotation. And even if it's not obvious, don't get mad if you miss it. That's not the one you really want as much. Yeah, it might be frustrating, but do you see what I'm saying? So even if value is red in the morning and you're like, no, I'm not going to touch it, the whole market's red, and then it bounces, I wouldn't kick myself. I don't think you did anything wrong. Because that's not necessarily the exact play we want. You want the obvious, easy, market down, money's going out of one area, it's going into value stocks. That's the easy one that is hit, and they're paying out even on the options. So that didn't happen today, and that's why we kind of avoided it. So keep that in mind. The obvious days, I think you're going to have a play. The days it's not obvious, 50-50, you don't need to worry about it, and I wouldn't kick yourself on it unless that's what you want to do. But that is play number 2. We'll see what that ends up doing tomorrow and what the market does. And now, finally, play number 3, I want to give you a play to watch. So yesterday I brought up pizza. I didn't make a play on it. I didn't say I was going to make a play on that. I was just telling you the news, and I wanted you to keep an eye on it because that has news that could develop either tomorrow or in a couple days or weeks. That's why I'm saying, I'm in literally most of my plays today. I made like 5 to 6 plays, TLT and the SPY. That's it. I did do a Nike and then a Snowflake, I think, and those are quick flips, but the other like 5, 6 plays was all SPY and TLT. So I want you to look at other names. I know we're getting volatility, but you don't have to be so constrained. But this one, you know about it. I have an old play on it that's up. But K-Web, go look at China. That one's the issue, bro. K-Web either stalls or breaks out from here. And what I mean by stall week is that it's like at the high, they did good, but it's like it's either going to like kind of dance around for a little bit and generally hold the same price, or we're going to really start to see the outperformance. I don't know if it does it on the CPI or data, or maybe it waits till the market like finally bounces. But, dude, don't forget, literally K-Web, China is the leader on the year. It's kind of like subtly fell, back into, ambiguity or not as exposed, or people aren't talking about it. But it's like, dude, no, man, make no mistake. This is the leader of the year. This is your outperformer. So watch as we get more developments. And like I said, 2018, when we had some good updates with China and the market, it's when Trump and China got together. We even heard about that June summit. That was one of those subtle pieces of news the other day. So think about that. But other than that, Chad, we'll see where tomorrow leads us. I think the CPI will give us a little to chew on. Other than that, we pay attention to the other stuff, the politics, the bonds, the steel tariffs, and we see what happens and whether or not recession worries or fear or not. Or maybe we bounce it oversold. I don't know. But, Chad, that's all I have for you. What do you got for me? You got any questions? I will be live tomorrow for CPI. Yes, live and direct and early, baby. Amen. I love you, baby. You made it. How am I feeling about earnings season? Oh, I don't know, man. If the market's more important, earnings season won't matter as much, sadly. It'll only matter for Grim Reapers. That's it. This is now, the market's turning into Squid Game. That's what earnings is going to become. Earnings will be Squid Game. It doesn't matter if you do good. It will all be about, are you going to survive? That's it. Player, Netflix, eliminated. Player, growth stock with no revenue, eliminated. Player, stock you bought at 12,000 PE, eliminated. That's it. That's all it's going to be. You do good, maybe you could hold your price. Maybe they'll let you have a bed. You see what I'm saying? So you got to blow it out of the water to do good, but unless there's a general trend of earnings not being bad as feared, I think it all just boils down to, as long as the volatility is high but not high enough to signal a dip, it's just going to be Squid Games. Google might be the next Meta, but, Google's a good company. As much as I hate them, they still got a pretty big moat. But I would just be more concerned with general deflation. That's it. We talked about it today. Just the Mag 7's up a lot. That's it, man. Just some people made the same. It's just like 2022, man. I have no other, like, it feels like 2022 was more foreign because we've never seen anything like it before. After the pandemic, the inflation, the money supply, the cultural shifts, the censorship, all of it, you know? You've never seen anything like it, but at the end of the day, people made the same mistake. That's it. People just bought a bunch of dog shit and ignored price. That's literally it. And then on top of it, they bought even the good names. They didn't care, and they justified this idea. It's the best name in the world. I'll buy it at whatever earnings, or it didn't matter. You see what I'm saying? So, unfortunately, you're just getting that. That's why it's like, when it comes down, you don't need to have like a meta or a failure as a company, but we might just get, money moving. If anything, I think even this is the Wall Street forecast. I think Mag 7 for the rest of the year, it's not really expected to move. So, like, best case, Mag 7 does nothing. It goes up, down, like NVIDIA did for the last, 7 months just to stay there, or people are expecting Mag 7 to kind of underperform because it's already outperformed for several years. There's a lot of meat on the bone, and then now, you're kind of running into this speed bump. So you need AI and that theme to really ramp back up if you want this hype to come back, more or less. So yeah, that's why. But again, that's why I say just don't buy names that are expensive. That's why I was telling you guys for a long time to avoid even names, these low quality names. If you're gonna buy them, they better be lower than where you bought them. I'm surprised the bonds aren't moving as much, but they already did get to move. But again, I think there's a lot of people and artificial ideas that are influencing that. Not to mention, the other bond supply and everything else that was, led the other 4 years that led into this. The dollar could hit a low. It might. That's sadly, it went from strong dollar to some people are doubting that, but I'm only worried about the trade weighted dollar. But like I've told you guys in the past, you guys remember those times where I said eventually when the dollar starts coming down with the market, that's when we usually have a problem. But for now, the dollar's decent, but I think there's a lot more going on, and I would pay attention to the trade-weighted dollar. Sadly, everything is just expectations, murdering, dude. Right now, people's imaginations have cost trillions of dollars. Like, no exaggeration. This isn't even the dollar wrecking ball. This is the imagination wrecking ball. That's what I'm saying. Like, from the euro to the yen, expectations cause these front runs. Expectations on trade and what to expect and fear has caused a lot of this. That's why it went from like repricing to like legitimately panic very, very quickly. But then again, that's why you're not getting crash puts, and it's still playing out in this very, very odd dynamic. So yeah. So we'll see. We will see. Extreme greed to extreme in 2 weeks, bro. In 2 weeks. Like I said, the price action is kind of surprising in some areas. But this is still my favorite. This is the fact it's too much like 2022, though. That's the real key to all of it, my friend. That's why it's like, although the dollar is causing one type of move, this one right here, the parallels to 2022 are real. But like I said, don't forget yesterday's watch list. I really think now this is a game of chicken between the market, Powell, and Donald Trump. Again, Donald Trump kind of even talked up the market a little bit, but yeah, that was it. It's kind of wild. What if banks fail? That would be bad, but then again, if the market comes down and rates catch a bid, that'll actually be good for the banks, as weird as that may sound. You think China's not vocal because energy is low and they benefit off low energy? No, you're right on the last part, but I don't think it relates to that. I think Trump has been nice. They've been nice, and they're just going slow. And they're going really, really slow. It's kind of, kind of mutual assured destruction. And I think they're both showing respect for each other. Again, and they have less to lose this time around. Like literally Mexico and Canada, that's where our imports come from. Like literally China over the last couple of years, they're not what they used to be. They don't own all of our debt anymore. They're not number one in the world in terms of exporting, so especially to the United States. So although they benefit off low oil, I don't think that's why they're being nice. I think they're being nice because Trump hasn't unleashed a fury against them. Everything he has been small, and as long as they're willing to kind of work with him, I think they know that, and I think they want to hammer down Trump, and as long as they confirm what Trump is going to do, then they're going to unleash their stimulus. Really? Really what? They're kind of vulnerable. I think they could turn on a lot of stimulus, but this time around, it kind of backfired. Just because of, I think they suffered with society. That was the problem with deflation. They own our debt, but they're not number one. Yeah, most people, this is a very how everyone's like, China will sell our treasuries. Yeah, Japan owns more treasuries than China. Or more of our treasuries, at least. More of the United States debt. But why? It's because they already sold some of it, and things changed, and then other people bought it, and then again, China after COVID and their little shutdown and social prosperity, a lot of things changed. And then again, Japan and other places, I wouldn't be surprised. We'll see what Germany and other places do, and then in the next few years. But yeah, the dynamic shifted from China-centric importing to your import from China to import from Canada, Mexico, Malaysia, Philippines, and all these other places, India. And that's kind of, again, even the war in Ukraine was part of that dynamic too. What do you think Powell is thinking? I don't think Powell's in it. I think Powell, that's the other one. You reminded me. Thank you for that question. Wow. I almost forgot. So yeah, I honestly, are you ready for the craziest thing I'm going to say? Are you ready for this? This is going to blow your mind. I don't know if y'all ready for this. I don't think they can handle that. I don't think you're ready for this long term. I don't think you're ready for this. I mean, I don't think it's tinfoil. I'm just making a guess. I'm just using every one of my faculties at my disposal. But this guy, his name is Nick Timiraos. And they call Nick Timiraos the Fed Whisperer. He is a Wall Street Journal guy, right? So here's the deal. Are you ready for this? This is what he tweeted last night. Trump didn't inherit a flawless economy. Solid growth in lofty stock values obscured a frozen housing sector and cooling job markets. But Wall Street is newly nervous. Those vulnerabilities could be amplified by policy volatility, along with grim messaging around a needed detox. That is what Nick Timiraos tweeted. So based off of that, you're asking me, do I think Powell is worried? Believe it or not, I think Powell agrees with Trump. Remember, Powell is the guy who caused 2022. I think Jerome Powell and Donald Trump both don't give a fuck if it goes down 15%. It makes both of their jobs easier. That's what I said on the tweet. You guys don't realize it? Like, for real, bro. unless you have a shit ton of money in stocks and real estate, who are the only people that care about these assets making a quick decline? Assuming you don't full on crash. Like, dude, what do you mean houses go down in value? People holding, yeah, but think about it. Your holdings, I could almost guarantee, it all depends where you bought in, but there is a lot more to gain by opening up a better flowing economy of better prices than not. The people mad are going to be investors and rich people and people who are already heavily invested. Those are the people mad, but eventually I think the young people will realize that, hey, why would you get mad about, like, think about it. Again, this is what I'm saying for Jerome Powell. So you mean Jerome Powell doesn't want home prices to calm down by 10%? And if stocks go down 20% but are still up 80% in 3 years or whatever, what the fuck are you talking about right now? What did fucking Wall Street do to you guys? I'm the guy with the houses in Wall Street. What happened to y'all, man? Are you guys okay? No, but do you feel me though? So that's what I'm saying. You're asking me if, no, for real though, what happened to everybody, bro? Especially the young generation. So the detox, I think, is welcomed by Powell. And I don't think this makes Powell's job harder. If the market crashes, yeah, but Powell will just step in at the appropriate time. But like I'm saying, just shave a quick little 15, 20, detox a little bit, real estate comes down a little bit. That's not a bad thing. I don't think, again, the only people mad are the people who own a lot of it. Or, again, the investors, Wall Street. There are people with 401ks, but again, your 401k doesn't go to zero off of this. You know what I'm saying? And your advisors or your managers did not invest all of your money in at the high if you've been holding for 40 years. So stop with that shit. And then the young people mad about buying the top, you're going to be able to buy a house. So what are we talking about here? Again, that's why I'm like, it's not. I think society will realize this eventually. That's why it's kind of funny that they're not right now. But then also, I genuinely believe that Powell, I think for a small window in time, I think Powell and Donald Trump are agreeing right now. I think both of them don't mind if the market, because again, Nick Timmerhouse acknowledging, dude, the market was already bad. This wasn't a good market. Nick Timmerhouse is acknowledging that. This is just exposing the vulnerabilities. But it's lofty valuations. Powell knows it's lofty. Again, this high, heavy running market, that made Powell's job harder for inflation. People trying to bully him. So if he could get the market down, lower the wealth effect, bring down real estate, and that finally, and lower oil without ever having to tinker with rates, what are you guys saying right now? I don't think they agree on rates, but I think they both agree, let the market have pain, and we could get what we want without ever touching it. That's it. Right now, the market's paying for it, but I think Powell, as long as Powell and Trump don't do shit, the market is the only one holding the bill right now. So I think they're down with it. The only way it gets bad is if it goes to recession and now either Trump or Powell holds that bill. Do you get it? Yeah, you could tantrum to tame if both of them don't give in. So yeah, I genuinely believe Powell doesn't give a shit right now. I think Trump and Powell don't mind. Because again, it's not, I think some people care a lot about this. And you could freak out, but it's like, dude, like you were here. This was an all-time high in July. Like what the fuck are we talking about right now? Your 401k is not at risk. Nothing has happened to you at all. All you're doing is getting an opportunity to calm down rates and craziness. And so, yeah, I don't think this is bad at all. And I don't think I don't think this puts his job in jeopardy either. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this puts Trump or Powell's reputation or job in jeopardy. That's it. The only one freaking out right now is the market for now. But that's why the only scary part is that if the market freaks out enough, it could cause serious damage. That's the part where don't play with fire, though. Do you see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I do acknowledge that. So I'm not saying that, oh, like, whatever, everyone, nothing to worry about. No, because these tantrums, if they go too far, bro, like, you could fuck around and find out. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't make no mistake. Right now, the market's holding the bill, but, like, if the market gets its ego bruised, it'll bring everything down. And fine, it will say, fine, you want to do this? Let's fucking do it. Fine, then. I'm not paying. So if the market doesn't get tame, it gets worse. And that could still lead to another problem. So, yeah, man. I hope y'all ready. How is this all happening with no pullback? What do you mean? What? This is the pullback. Unless I'm missing something. So, yeah, any other questions? Dude, I haven't ate today. You know that? All I had is protein shakes. Dude, I was beat, bro. I was beat. You want to see how low we could go? That's a little dark, but, yeah, I'm down with low, but not like some of y'all just be like the Joker. You know? I feel you. See, I'm lying. It's more than volatility. Well, a most hated rally is definitely in the cards. It's lurking. Or we're about to get fucked up. It's not. It's one or the other, my brother. That's why. I don't know. That's why I would go back to the beginning of the video. I don't know what's going to happen, my friend. I'm telling you. I'm down with whatever, and I'm sure we'll find a way because, again, my strategy doesn't rely on needing to know what's going to happen, but you know, because, again, balance control, bro, budget, diversification. We're already building up cash. You don't got to trip. But at the end of the day, I mean, you know, yeah, there's a lot brewing, and it's exciting. But that's what I'm saying. This is where a lot of opportunity is born. The daily is a big with no good entry. Oh, yeah. That's the funny part. The best part about dailies, or like the short terms, these little random pops kill all the premiums. But it's really, really risky. I don't know how we hit. I hit every play today except my Nike. But like in this, it was wild. But I'll call them out if you're listening live. Otherwise, just at the end of the day, control the budget. And in this market, my best advice, my best tip is that out of the monies do not work right now. That is the problem. Out of the monies, or they'll work very few and far between. You got to be very intentional. You got to really know what you're playing. You're going to have to take a little bit more risk, but if you want to profit off of timing and getting the news and knowing it and doing it, you have to be near the money. Mr. Chad, your new position. Oh, they got you doing customer manager or customs manager? Oh, I thought you were doing customer service. I was like, damn, man. Either way, though, I hope you're moving up, man. We miss you, too. Hit me with the updates as well. Let's go. Let's go. I remember the chips, baby. You followed the plan near the money. I did follow them today. I was dabbling. I was given two options, close and far, but the ones close to the money really hit. But, again, I think just the live reaction, subtle reaction, not getting caught up in the big one you know about is great, man. Your testament? Yeah, bro. I think it was, I think a lot of y'all are picking up on it. So if you're locked in, paying attention, I mean, we are literally getting stuff before everybody. You know, I studied for this, so we have a good interpretation pretty early. And like I'm saying, honing in on the options. I'm telling you about what I'm seeing with the premium live. So, hey, if you're listening, find a way to work your strategy into it. I think you're going to be good, baby. You will be good. All right, man. Final questions. Any updates on the yield curve? Technically, the yield curve was telling us this was going to happen. But it's uninverted, bro. It's been uninverted. The one that I look at, the 2-year, 10-year. It's been uninverted since Powell started doing that fuck shit. Socks out. I mean, hey, chips. I talked about it on Sunday night. There's people on Wall Street saying that some chips are oversold and that this is, you've lost 78% of the gains from May of 2023. That's a good opportunity, and that unlocks another chart. Right now, the last time the market with S&P was this oversold, it was literally the end of 2021, beginning of 2022. And you did have a massive bounce, and then you did have another massive drop, and then another massive bounce, and then another massive drop. Yes. Oh, do you regret Biden? Do you regret voting for Biden? Oh, do you regret voting for Biden? Biden? You regret voting for... That was Biden. And what? Did you guys say the same shit? Yeah. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. By Elon Musk, blah. But you like a stock market 1 month. Look what happened with Republican. Blah, blah. Somebody has somebody random listening to this right now, and they don't know why you watch this channel, but that made more sense to somebody than others. Yeah. Well, that being said, Chatadonia, did I miss the last one? Let's see. All right, I think that's it, man. I'm going to go get some food. I'm going to have barbecue shrimp. That is what that's what my meal prep is today. So thank you for being here. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you to the veterans. Thank you to the real ones, man. All the members, I appreciate you, baby. That's why I see you right now. Enjoy it and stay prepared. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. It's a difficult market, but you could do it. But not with that little wacky-ass, loose-ass discipline. You know what I'm saying? So let's go, baby. It's game time. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless God. Because finger to the sky, baby. To God be the glory. That's why we're here every single day. All of this is dust. So enjoy the insanity. None of it makes sense, but that's the beauty, baby. Dance along. But I love you, Chad. Have a good night, and let that pillow remind you how blessed you are. But I love you all, and peace. Horna.